Good morning, traders. Andy Demmer here from the London Trading Institute. Hope you guys are well. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you how I go about choosing the right currency pairs to trade. So, if you've ever sort of taken a trade and it's won or lost or whatever, chances are you probably could have made more money by choosing a different currency pair or lost less by choosing a different currency pair. So obviously what we want to do is we want to match the strongest currencies against the weakest ones. Okay, so if you're buying, you want to be obviously buying the strongest ones against the weakest ones. Okay, so what I'm going to show you right now is how you can go about doing that with a really simple way. So today we have some important news, don't we? We have CPI coming out. So obviously, depending on when you watch this, it doesn't matter. It will still be relevant, okay? Because the method is pretty simple and it can be applied whenever. But what we want to look for, so when we have CPI today, you can see coming out 130, and it's forecast to be 1.1% up month on month, okay? With a previous of 1%. Now, if the number comes out strong as expected or better, then what's going to likely happen is the US dollar is going to go up in value, probably across the board. However, what we want to look for is a couple of things. Firstly, so if we're playing US dollar strength, which is the weakest currency that we want to play against? And if we're playing dollar weakness, which is the currency we ideally want to go against. So this is the data, and we have got some Canadian data coming out as well. So that could be an interesting one to look out for too. But I'm going to bring up the charts now. So this is what I would do. I have basically put together the currency indexes onto a chart. So what you can see on your chart, on this chart right now, you can see this is the sterling index, the euro index, the Aussie index, the Kiwi index, Canadian index, Japanese index, US index, and this is just the crude oil futures price. Okay, and the reason why I've got that there as well is because I've got 8 slots, so I thought, why not put the crude oil futures price there as well? Okay, so I've got 8 different things there, but it is very useful because I like to see what oil is doing, because obviously that affects the Canadian dollar, especially being a big exporter. Now, once you've built your currency indexes, then what I've done is I've plotted 3 moving averages. This is the 50, the 21, and the 8. And what these are basically telling us is essentially where the current momentum is. And these are daily charts. So you can see on the sterling index, so you can see the 50, the 21, and the 8 are all aligned going downwards. So that is a weak currency, okay? You can see, all 3 are aligned that way. They're fanning downwards, which basically means sterling is weak at the moment. Now, look at the euro dollar. Sorry, not the euro dollar, the euro index. This one is similar in the sense that the 50, the 21, and the 8 are lower. But what is the difference between these 2 charts? Well, you can see that the euro, the yellow one is far away from the blue one, which basically means that this has been acting the weakest. Okay, so this is the one that people are selling a lot of. And then look at the Aussie, the Australian index, where you can see this is, although it is pointing down, it's a little bit stronger than sterling, and it's certainly stronger than the euro index. And then Kiwi, this looks a little bit similar to, if we just zoom out, a little bit similar to, possibly this one and this one. So far, this one looks the weakest. And now going back over here, let me take myself over here. You can see that the Canadian index actually is strong. So the Canadian index is strong. So you can see the 8, 21, and 50 pointing up. So the CAD is one of the strong ones. Okay, this is important for this for what I'm about to say next. So when we're looking to, for example, play, let's say, some US data, if you want to put an order in to buy US dollars, you're probably going to want to buy against the euro. Okay, just looking at this up to now. And if you want to sell the US dollars, you probably want to be looking at selling it against the Canadian currency. Okay, and we're going to go look at the individual currencies. So then here we have finally the Japanese one. So you can see that the yen has been very, very weak, pretty similar to what the euro has been doing. You can see there, though, that we're just consolidating at the moment. So it's actually pulled back quite nicely to its 50 EMA. It could be getting ready for another leg down, but this is definitely one of the weaker ones as well. So you could also consider the yen as another option if you want to buy US dollars. So we'll consider these two. And then this is the US index. You can see it's been extremely strong. Okay, so with that in mind, guys, we're saying we could look for selling opportunities in the euro dollar, buying opportunities in the dollar yen, because you're buying dollars against yen, which is the weaker one. And then this one, if we want to sell dollars, we can sell them against the CAD. Okay, so in other words, selling dollar CAD. So let's head over and have a look at what's going on. So if we bring in the euro dollar, here's the kind of thing that I would be doing. Let's make this bigger. So this is the current 4-hour chart. I'll make this a bit cleaner by going onto the hourly chart. And this is what it looks like right now. Okay. So you can see the market is obviously trending lower. This here is the daily trading range. So this area here, for example, looks like a really nice area if we want to sell this. Okay. So you have a pivot point, you have the daily trading range. Obviously, with it being a day-to-day, let's check. You can make this a 1.5 DTR, which would be unlikely to get hit just based on the fact that you can see that this line is not getting hit much, but that would take you all the way up there. So if there was a surprise, then this would be a really, really great sell area. So we could just, this is an extreme, and you can see there's a really good level there. So if this market was to basically off the back of the day to go up, then we could be looking to sell euro dollar there. Okay, that's basically that. And you could also put in your moving averages and try and find the extremes. You could also plot your trend lines. I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but you could basically draw all of your trend lines and find like good points. So like, for example, that is the trend line there. So it doesn't look like it's going to get there today, but just as a general rule for you, that's something you could look at doing. And the unit trend line is probably, it looks like it's broken already. So, which is quite interesting. Looks like it's broken. So that's that. So then we would then go, okay, well, that's, you could place an order and just see what happens. If it gets filled, then great. If it doesn't, then that's fine. And then we would then be looking at something like the dollar yen. If we want to buy this because the yen is weak, so we might use the data coming out to just in case it goes a lot lower. This area here looks fantastic, right? You've got this market angle, you've got this trend line, lots of like nice levels here, and I actually think so. I'd be looking at that area there, which is the daily trading range. Of course, this must be this is the 1.5 daily trading range. So, and you could add in your pivot points as well, just to time it a little bit better. So just show you if I can get on. Yeah, it looks like I'm not able to load that right now, but you can add in your pivot point. And this area here looks interesting to me. Here we go. And we'll see what that looks like as it loads up. So there's a pivot point coming in there, 135.90, just shy of the 1.5. That looks like a good area again. So we'd be looking to essentially, if off the data, we could just bid for the market to go there. That I really like. I think there's a lot of interest in this zone here. Okay. And then finally, we could look at the CAD if we want to also place an order on the CAD. So remember, we've got to play CAD strengths. So we'd be looking to sell dollar CAD, right? Which actually makes a lot of sense, because if you just take the big picture here, you can see that essentially the market has been doing this, and we're now at, see, this is a high point, high point, high point, high point. So we could be looking for a rally to sell down. Okay, now I will just go on to the lower time frames just very quickly on this one and show you what we can see. Now, do excuse all the lines. This here is the 1.5 DTR. I really like that area a lot as a sell point, a lot. Why do I like that area? I'll tell you why. Because what often happens is the market likes to, likes to take out highs because they know there's natural liquidity there. So institutions like to find key points where there's going to be stops. So if for example, you took a trade here, then likelihood is that so if you sold it here, the likelihood is your stop's going to be here. So what often happens is the institutions know that, and they push it through that level because they can get then filled and take out some stops and get liquidity, as they say. And the fact that you've got a daily level, I really like that as well, and the 1.5 DTR. So for me, that looks like the right area to be looking for a potential short. So that could be an area to target. Now, bear in mind that there is the Bank of Canada data coming out today as well, just about an hour and a half later. It makes this slightly riskier, okay? But if you, if you do play the news and you're comfortable with it, this is a really, really nice area. And maybe it will spike a bit higher. So you're going to have to make sure you give it a little bit of room if you're going to play something like this, okay? And one of the things that I like to do is to use our indicator. So like here, you can see this was an extreme reading that went above the 1.5. So what I would do is I would actually have a look to see how far up that went. Did it go to its 2 daily trading range, for example? Yeah, so it didn't even get to its 2 daily trading range. So if, for example, you were going to play this, I would be looking to really place a stop about there. Probably, about 130, 128. That gives you a little bit of room, and then it's up to you how you manage the trade and how you target, and that really depends on your trade plan and strategy. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. Do comment, let me know what you thought, if you like the video, if you like this type of content, and let me know if you need any other help, and we'll be more than happy to keep producing content to help you guys out. But do help us out as well. Subscribe to the channel, get the notifications, and please like our videos if you're enjoying what we do, because it just helps us grow the channel and reach out to more people. And Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you. Have a great day. Good trading. Take care.